It is time to tighten up the saddle, cross those reins, and sit still in the starting gate because we are off and running on this Kentucky Oaks Friday edition of Belmont Insider, beautiful Belmont Park. Good crowd in the backyard, good crowd in the front side or in the grandstand, and it's a bit chilly out here, but the sun did come out. We are set to go here on a big program. I've got Richard Migliore alongside, Jason Blewitt to his right, Kentucky Oaks Day at Churchill Downs, and we get into the first Friday in May.
And it actually is a little bit cool, but it is nice. And we're at Belmont, and we've got a lot to talk about, not just great racing here, but, of course, all the way to Kentucky.
And Larry Jones, speaking of going to Kentucky, did it again. 3 Kentucky Oaks victories and counting. Lovely Maria with Kerwin Clark. Too good.
She, with Kerwin Clark, I'm actually surprised that Kerwin Clark, it took him this long to win his first Grade 1 a month ago, the Ashland, and now he wins his second Grade 1 with Lovely Maria, who's only been worse than second one time in her life, and that was on a muddy track. She's been a gem of consistency.
Filly by Majestic Perfection out of a Thunder Gulch mare. She was up in time, really the first attacker off the far turn, easily kicked clear. Well, Todd Pletcher did not get the money in the Kentucky Oaks, but earlier in the day, Protonico was as game as ever, turning back everybody, including a very stubborn foe to his outside in the $400,000 Ali Sheba. He clearly pulled the right kind of trip, Protonico.
Well, he really did. He looked like he was defeated, and then late in the stretch, you see, he went back to his left lead, went back to his right lead. This is a horse struggling, trying with all his might not to lose. Johnny Velasquez, with an insistent left-handed whip, gets him back up right on the wire.
And for Honor Code, who wound up going off the slight second choice, he was seemingly in another area code early on, and you could see, I mean, he essentially lost contact with the field and could only rally to finish 5th.
Well, in his one-turn races, he does fall way out of it like that. In his 2-turn races, he's shown the ability to lay up a little bit closer, like he did in the Remsen. Now, he actually broke and wanted to be a bit aggressive. Javier Castellano was insistent on getting him back out of the field, and once he got back out of the field, you could see the horse spit the bit out and trailed early. And when they go a half in 48-3, you're just not going to be as effective with that big leg kick.
It's amazing as we switch gears and we get on to the big dance on a weekend that's really all about the 3-year-old colts and geldings and Saturday's 141st Kentucky Derby, where we went through the winter. For the most part, there were a couple of defections, but we were able to sidestep really any sort of drama in the division. We've already had a couple of defections over the last 48 hours in Stanford yesterday, and today it was announced our horse from the inner track, our little horse that could, El Kabir, will not be running Saturday.
And it's a shame to get that close to the big dance. The good news for the owners is they've got American Pharaoh and Mr. Z, so they've got backup, they've got bench strength, but I really feel for the Terra Novas and the exercise rider Simon Harris, going all that way, feeling like you're going to be a part of the big show, and then have to step aside. But the first and most important thing always is the horse's welfare. The horse isn't 100%. That's the right thing. Take him out.
We'll get him back here to Belmont Park. He can rest up. You've got a lot of lucrative races for the 3-year-olds. I mean, you missed the Kentucky Derby. That's okay. We like El Kabir, consistent kind of horse who battled Mother Nature all winter long, and then a day before the Kentucky Derby had to be withdrawn, but we'll get him back to the races soon. Bob Baffert, we get into the final Derby dozen. We've worked our way from some of the bigger priced horses in the field to Dortmund, to American Pharaoh. He's your 5-2 morning line choice. Bob Baffert looking for career win number 4 in the Kentucky Derby. And what is the story, Big, with this colt by Pioneer of the Nile?
Well, obviously, he's brilliant. He has so much natural ability, and I go back to him just as a physical specimen. Look at the way he moves. His stride is absolutely flawless. His mechanics are perfect. He does things effortlessly because he covers the ground so well and so efficiently. Now, is he going to be able to get that comfortable in a 19-horse field now with what looks to be a pretty much an abundance of pace?
Right.
And if he can get comfortable, though, we could be seeing something special. But he's going to have to be special because this is the deepest Kentucky Derby that I can remember ever in my lifetime.
Would you think this is a scenario where American Pharaoh has yet to really take a punch? He's been the one that's been able to just throw the punch and end every fight he's been in early on?
Yeah, I mean, I've always often make that kind of statement. I want to see a horse be able to take a punch as well as throw a punch. But what did Muhammad Ali used to say? You can't hit what you can't catch. Well, maybe he's just not going to get hit because you can't catch him. But I do want to see him at some stage overcome some adversity, and you would think a pretty good chance it's going to happen tomorrow.
And how about Hall of Fame nominee Victor Espinoza? Didn't get into the Hall this year in Saratoga Springs, but riding your second consecutive Kentucky Derby favorite after winning the Roses last year with California Chrome.
Well, you would have to think that he's going to make it into the Hall of Fame, but certainly if he was to win the Derby again this year, he's a slam dunk for next year.
No question. All right, let's move on to the action here at Belmont Park. Day number 3 already, opening Friday. A little on the chilly side, but the sun came out later in the afternoon. We had 9. We started at 1:20. Couple of stakes on the program, headlined or led off by the second running of the Gold Fever. We'll get you back to the 3-year-olds in race 3 with John and Brielle.
And the rough. El Deal is sent out for the early lead. Nona's Boy, a Money Changer. Those two are heads apart now. Money Changer's dropping back, and Nona's Boy is a clear-cut second. Money Changer's at the rail. Gypsum Johnny on the outside. Accurate is the early trailer in 5th. El Deal leads here by a length over Nona's Boy. It's El Deal in front here. After a quarter in 22 4/5 seconds, El Deal the leader. Nona's Boy in pursuit in second. Money Changer is down at the rail, and Gypsum Johnny is alongside. Accurate remains in 5th, about 6 lengths from front-running El Deal, who will lead the field to the top of the stretch. It's El Deal in front by a half length. El Deal now in front by a length and a half, now by 2. Nona's Boy couldn't keep up with El Deal. Gypsum Johnny's on the outside. Then Money Changer and Accurate. El Deal has built a 6-length lead, and El Deal will remain undefeated. He's 4 for 4. El Deal wins the Gold Fever Stakes. Nona's Boy second. Gypsum Johnny was third, and the time was 1 minute 9 2/5 seconds.
You just never know where a good horse can come from, and got to say, this El Deal is a big deal, and he's in the midst of writing a pretty cool story.
Yeah, 4 for 4 now, and make no mistake, this is a very, very good horse. Potentially, in my mind, the best sprinting 3-year-old in the country. I loved everything I saw today. He's a big, strong, imposing individual. He's beautiful to look at. He's got the right demeanor, and he's got gears. He's got speed to spare. We saw him geared down coming to the wire. This is a very good horse, and like you said, a very good story.
And he's been masterfully trained by Andrew Lakeman, who has overcome some adversity in his own life, and you caught up with Andrew. I know he was pumped up after taking the Gold Fever.
Andrew, El Deal proved to be the real deal. I mean, he was very impressive today.
He was, you know, he'd been training really well, and I always thought that he had talent right from the beginning. And, you know, he's just a really neat horse to train.
He seems like he's very classy. Is that something that you noticed right away when you first got him, that he not only had ability, but he handled himself well?
Yeah, everything that he's done so far, he's handled very well. You know, he's very professional, and, you know, in the mornings he's very easy to train, which makes my job much easier.
Andrew, I know you had spent a lot of time around Alan Jerkins, and it seems like you got a lot of influence from him. This must be very special for you.
Yeah, it is. You know, I mean, I got a, you know, this race is for him, you know. He taught me a lot. And he's one of my heroes. But I have to thank, you know, Carlos Morales. You know, he's helped me over the years, and he stood by me, you know, and always helped me each year with a couple of horses. And this is, you know, a really nice horse that he sent me, and I owe him, you know, everything. And also my help, you know, Alfonso, he's been with me from day one, and he's worked really hard with this horse, and I owe it to him.
Well, this horse was your first stakes winner today. What do you think, obviously, if he comes out of the race well, where will you point next?
I'm not sure, you know. I mean, his daddy won the Woody Stevens. I would love to win that race with him, and we'll see, you know, we'll see how far he can go. You know, I've been really patient with him and took my time and spaced out his races. He's only a baby, you know, and I think he's got a promising future.
Well, you've done a great job with him. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Richie. Thank you.
This was undoubtedly the highlight on this opening week so far at Belmont Park, seeing Andrew Lakeman in the winner's circle with the unbeaten El Deal. And you could even hear, as Mig, you asked him about the Chief, his voice start to crack a little when he talked about his relationship and what he thinks about H. Alan Jerkins.
Alan Jerkins has meant so much to so many people on so many different levels, and obviously a huge influence helping Andrew along overcome his adversities, him injured very badly in a spill here at Belmont, and having such a meaningful win like this here at Belmont. Alan's not gone that long. You could tell the emotion. But I have to say, Andrew Lakeman is a top-class horseman, and I want to see him get a real opportunity because he gets his horses ready, and he does it with a limited amount of stock. I'm glad to see him get a real good horse like this.
I'll tell you, his perseverance is a great life lesson for us all. And wow, this was a thrilling opening segment on this live edition of Friday's Belmont Insider. We've got a lot more coming your way, and maybe a Woody Stevens win for El Deal. Stay tuned for beautiful Belmont. Plus acres. We are home to over 2,000 horses and world-class thoroughbred racing here on Long Island. In fact, Belmont Park, a few days away from its 110th anniversary, May 4th, 1905, and we continue to write history at the Big B. In fact, Derby Day here tomorrow. It's a great tradition, and we have got a long day ahead of us with a lot of great racing.
Starting at noon, and we'll go all the way to the Derby and have a break to watch the Derby and then finish up the card. And, of course, you and I will be peeking in on the Rangers somewhere around 12:30 as well.
Got to get that game, too. Cannot go down to Washington down 2-zip, my friend. Killer end to that game last night, that's for sure. So, Mig, it's Jason. Glad you're with us. Hope you're having a great Kentucky Oaks Day, and hope you'll join us here over the next couple of cards. But we'll get you back to race number 5 in the meantime. We've got Johnny I upstairs, and he can take us through the running of race number 5 as we stay on the main track.
And they're off. Green Grotto, Mr. O'Leary, Bakken, those three go out for the early lead. With Shore Runner racing in 4th, and on the outside is Me Want a Rose. Stall Walking Dude will be the early trailer in 6th. It's Green Grotto by a head. Down on the inside is Mr. O'Leary right there in 2nd. And Bakken just in behind, racing in 3rd. The quarter was running 22 seconds. It's a break of 2.5 lengths. Back to Me Want a Rose in 4th. Then Shore Runner and 5 more to Stall Walking Dude. Green Grotto with the lead by a head. Bakken's on the outside. Mr. O'Leary down at the rail. They're at the top of the stretch. The half, 44 and 4/5 seconds. It's Green Grotto and Bakken. They're 1-2 with Me Want a Rose. And here comes Stall Walking Dude, who's putting in a big late run. A 16th out. Bakken, Stall Walking Dude. Stall Walking Dude from way out of it to win it. Bakken was 2nd, and Green Grotto faded to 3rd.
Big late run in a race with a pretty hot pace, and this almost harkened back, Big, to the old Belmont balcony move here with Stall Walking Dude.
It's funny you should say that. I thought that when I was watching it live earlier today. I said, well, that is the classic Belmont balcony move that we used to see all through the 80s. Nicely timed ride by Angel Cruz, who has made the move from Aqueduct to Belmont seamlessly, and it's nice to see this young man continue to do well.
Hot pace, first of all, as we look at Angel Cruz for David Jacobson. And David, to be fair, has got this 5-year-old gelding by City Place breathing fire. It was the hat trick today for Stall Walking Dude, who previously had paired up 2 wins in a 9-day span over at the Big A. That being said, the timing may have been right with the hot pace, and Bakken had not been out in quite some time.
Yeah, Bakken made a move look like he was on his way to victory, and he might have just weakened a little bit off the layoff. Although he ran a winning effort, Stall Walking Dude, like you said, David Jacobson has this horse in raging form, and that's the one thing. When David Jacobson gets a horse in good form, they tend to hold that form for multiple races, and that's what we're seeing with Stall Walking Dude.
He's got Saludos Amigos on the sidelines for now, pointing to the late Saratoga meet. Maybe Stall Walking Dude can take his place in the interim. Race number 8, second co-featured overnight stake on today's card. Second running of the license fee, a good one a few years back, trained by Stanley Huff. And we've got 3 and up fillies and mares on the Widener.
Believe in Charlie, Zendaya, those two right together in the early going. Zendaya takes the lead now from Believe in Charlie. Anecdote is down at the rail in 3rd. Devilish Love, the Grays, in between horses racing in 4th. Tea Time's on the outside in 5th. Then it's Mahjong Madness with Dauphine Ruse and a break of 4 back to Medaglia d'Argento, who trails the field in 8th. It is Zendaya on top here as they round the far turn. Zendaya 3/4 of a length. Believe in Charlie in second. Devilish Love on the outside in third. Anecdote is fourth, now 4 lengths from the lead. Then Delphine Roos and Mahjong Madness. Tea Time is in seventh, and Medaglia d'Argento continues to trail in eighth. They're at the head of the stretch, and it is Zendaya with the lead. Zendaya is in front, the quarter 22-3, the half mile in 45-3. Zendaya by 2 lengths. Devilish Love is on the outside in second. Then it's Believe in Charlie in third. Followed towards the rail by Anecdote and Delphine Roos. But they're not going to catch Zendaya, a front-running winner. Zendaya takes the license fee stakes in 1 minute 9 3/5 seconds.
There's more where this came from. Trainer Christophe Comant's got Tonalist tomorrow, the Westchester, and he's got a speedy filly by More Than Ready who showed up with a very nice effort.
It seems to me like this is one of those specialized kind of horses, wants to sprint on the grass. It was nice to see Christophe here. He was in the winner's circle, and we're so lucky to have such good young talent. I mean, look at Manny Franco finishing on this horse. We saw Angel Cruz earlier. Manny Franco now. The Ortiz boys are down in Kentucky for Oaks and Derby, although Manny Franco's on his way down tonight.
Yep.
And a good way to go out to Churchill Downs on a high note with a lot of confidence.
More Than Ready filly, Manny Franco getting aboard a New York bred for George Weaver, one that we're familiar with in the Big Apple. Tensinder spent the winter on the inner track, and he's coming out of a second behind Frosted in the Wood Memorial.
Well, I liked Frosted, so how can I not like Tensinder a little bit? And all the reports I hear out of Kentucky is that Tensinder is doing extremely well, and that's what you want to see, horses that are coming on at the right time heading into a race like the Derby.
Safe Trip, 20-year-old from Puerto Rico, doing things well at Belmont. Maybe he'll be doing it in Louisville tomorrow afternoon as we get on to a few other select highlights, all for you on this Friday live edition of Insider 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, and 9. And you and I haven't made a mistake yet, so here we go.
Stony Soprano battles on at the rail. It is Scorpion's Touch narrowly over Stony Soprano, and Fortunate Sky on the outside in third, and Chief Assignment is now in fourth. 16th to the wire. Stony Soprano coming back again on the inside to regain the lead from Scorpion's Touch, and it will be Stony Soprano to win it. Looked like Fortunate Sky got up for second, then Scorpion's Touch and Chief Assignment. And Surf Spun is just in behind and now gaining ground on the outside with a 1/4 mile to the finish. Here comes Surf Spun now to take over the lead. Forever Utopia is kicking in now. Surf Spun and Forever Utopia. And now it's between those two. And now Forever Utopia takes the lead. Surf Spun hard-ridden towards the rail, trying to keep up with Forever Utopia. It's Forever Utopia, Surf Spun. The two of them are heads apart. It's going to be tight. It's going to be Forever Utopia by a head. Surf Spun was second. Can't. And 'Tis a Cinch. And the field is at the top of the stretch. Here's Signature Look. Now up on the outside. Number 1 battles on down towards the rail. Furious Warrior switches to the outside and is now coming on. Then 'Tis a Cinch. It is Signature Look and number 1. They're heads apart. Furious Warrior and 'Tis a Cinch giving chase. They come for the wire. Signature Look may have won it by a head. It'll be a bob with number move on the outside as the field turns into the stretch. Saratoga by Design. Here comes Daisy Cutter up to challenge the lead. Daisy Cutter up to take over the lead. Saratoga by Design is back running in second. And then it's Weather Vane, Mini Muffin, and Dixie Jam. It's Daisy Cutter who wins at the end by 7 or 8 lengths. Looked like Saratoga by Design held on to second over Weather Vane. It's Sharifa with the lead. 3/4 went in 1:10-3. Say 3 Hail Marys trying to get to Sharifa. It's Sharifa and Say 3 Hail Marys. Sharifa narrowly. Say 3 Hail Marys now right alongside. The two of them are together as they come for the 16th pole. Say 3 Hail Marys takes over and draws clear at the end. Say 3 Hail Marys, the winner. Sharifa was second, Striking Impact third, then Full of Sugar, Sweet Corinne, and Kelly And then it's a break of 4 or 5 lengths to the rest of them as the field comes off the turn and enters the stretch. The half in 44 and 3. Smoke Signals, May Flowers. It's still between those two. Clara Kelly in third. Neilinger and Quaver, who's putting in a late run down towards the rail. Quaver is continuing to gain ground on May Flowers. Here comes Quaver, who comes from way out of it, puts in a late burst, and wins by 2 lengths. May Flowers was second, then Clara Kelly and Neilinger.
What a finish in the last. They got up to the nightcap mig with only one covered in the pick 6. The Christophe Command trained Smoke Signals. She flashed a lot of speed but had nothing come crunch time. But you talk about a late run during crunch time. Holy smokes, a purple shot out of nowhere with the 7 Quaver.
Yeah, Quaver really finished. I love the way she negotiated her way through traffic as well.
Well, Cappy picked her up, I'm sure, right off the top of the turn there as it is now post time for Friday's second look. And here she comes, white blinkers with that bold inside run of the number 11 May Flowers.
Under Angel Cruz getting his 3rd win of the day. He split horses twice into the stretch, ducked to the rail, finished with a flourish. Nice to see Bobby Robato in the winner's circle, a guy who does a great job, and he trains for Mark Keller for so many years. It's nice to see that kind of loyalty in the game, and when loyalty is rewarded.
Grand Couturier and Brebone, 2 highlights with the Mark Keller, Bob Robato connection that pop up in my mind, and they got their picture taken with that filly who is by Blame out of a Tail of the Cat mare. Jockey standings, we've gone cold the last couple of days, but we've got 3 full cards, a full, let's see, we ran 26 races under our belt, and we can now break out the first rider standings of the new Belmont Park meet, and Cornelia Velasquez, a finalist for the Mike Venezia Award, he's your leading rider.
Yeah, Cornelia Velasquez is consistent every day, shows up, does a great job. Angel Cruz second, Manny Franco, and a few others tied for 3rd. But Billy Castle, jockey agent for both Cornelio Velasquez and Angel Cruz, well, I guess he's definitely the leading agent.
He's definitely the leading agent following a bang-up main track meet over at the Big A, in which Angel Cruz was the leading rider. No claims on this Friday afternoon. We do have that beautiful paddock that will fill in as the weather starts to get warmer, and a Saturday preview will warm you up here on Derby Day when we come back. First Friday in May, and summer starts here at beautiful Belmont Park. We are 5 weeks and a day out from the 3rd longest and oldest leg of the Triple Crown, the $147 million or $1.5 million Belmont Stakes. Tickets are still on sale, and we have that festival. And I think today we saw the real deal in El Deal, who I would have to think will point to the $500,000 Woody Stevens.
And I know it's 7 furlongs, and Andrew was expressing, just how far the horse may want to go, but the way he did things today, I don't have any doubt he'll go 7 furlongs, and I think he's as good a 3-year-old sprinter as I've seen anywhere. He impresses me.
Fun horse to ride? What do you think?
Oh, absolutely, because he goes fast, and he goes fast easily. You don't have to put him in the game. He puts you in the game.
Well, the same could be said perhaps from Tonalist, who's going to need an alert break as we get onto our Saturday preview. He's got that tricky inside post at a distance probably under his best. Joe Bravo will have the call. Tonalist, the Belmont winner, back in race 6.
Yeah, I agree. The mile might be a little bit short of his best, but his mile and 1/8 Peter Pan was so strong here last year when he went basically wire to wire. He's got blinkers on. He's going to be fresh off the layoff. He's got a sharp half-mile work here at Belmont after a steady but unspectacular work tab at Payson Park. I'm sure they're using this as a springboard to bigger things, but I don't think he'll be as far back as we saw him in a couple of his races
He's
last year.
very handy, and he schooled in the paddock earlier today, and Maggie had caught a glimpse of him as he walked by the racing office and said, as a 4-year-old, he's filled out. He looks even bigger and stronger than he was last year. Does that surprise you at all, hearing that news?
No, it really doesn't. Obviously, he's by Tappet, but he's out of a Pleasant Colony mare, and I always thought his body type favored Pleasant Colony a bit more. And Pleasant Colony was a bit narrow as a 3-year-old, and we really didn't get to see him beyond that. I'm glad that we've seen Tonalist as a 4-year-old, and I'm not surprised that he'd fill out more.
And is this a case of another Tappet as a 4-year-old getting his coming out party in Juba, who's got a big fan base on social media. He's in the Centennial Farm Silks, and he turned a lot of heads, including mine. I can admit that on this Wood undercard, April 4th.
I thought this was a really strong effort here. He got his career best buyer figure, and a horse that looks like it took him a little while to figure out. He always gave me the impression he was a bit of a playboy, wanted to goof off a bit. He's lone speed in here. He should be loose on an easy lead, and I got to think he's going to be pretty tough to run down because he doesn't look like he's got stopping. I mean, it looks like he continues on.
Jimmy Jerkins has got him moving in the right direction, and Barclay Tagg has done a nice job quietly. This horse, steady, consistent, has kept good company. There's a lot to like about Confrontation tomorrow.
And Confrontation very well could get maybe first run at Juba. And, of course, there's going to be a lot of cat and mouse going on. As you'll see in small fields, people have their eyes on Tonalist. Confrontation with Rajiv Mirage has run 3 triple-digit buyer figures in a row. And I like him. I like him in the one turn. I think the one turn suits him better than a 2-turn race.
Dozen races, 3 graded stakes here tomorrow. First race post-noon. Gates open up at 10 a.m. Long after the gates open up at 10, and that's 7 a.m. breakfast at Belmont. The Grade 3 Fort Marcy will roll around in race number 10. Good field. Big Blue Kitten is back for Chad Brown.
Big Blue Kitten reuniting with Joe Bravo, who had so much success with him, shown here winning the Sword Dancer. That was at 1.5 miles. 1.8 miles, a bit short of his best distance, but he has run some competitive races, you know, backing up in distance, so I think it will just accentuate his closing kick.
And he is coupled with Hyper, who has not started in over 530 days, also going out for Chad Brown. Here's your Travers winner. Could be a big day for Jimmy Jerkins. On Derby Saturday, we get the Travers winner on the turf at Belmont.
Yeah, I mean, we get a Belmont winner, a Travers winner,
It's
all
awesome.
on the same card.
It's awesome.
And VE Day has had some very good success on turf as well as obviously dirt. I like him getting back to the turf. I think that's truly what he wants to do.
And Mr. Speaker for Shug McGahee will be making his second start of the year and seemed to me to get a useful debut under his belt at Keeneland.
Yeah, I think he knocked the ring rust off at Keeneland, caught some soft ground, was only beaten a length and 3/4. I think you can see a big step forward from him and getting back to the course that I think he prefers. Belmont Park, 1 mile and a furlong, should suit him very well.
So many plot lines on Big Sandy and these 2 world-class turf courses here tomorrow with a group of world-class horses. And although VE Day is a Grade 1 winner on the dirt, Maggie Wolfendale is standing by to tell us why he might like the turf even better.
Thanks, guys. Well, it's Kentucky Derby Day at Belmont here tomorrow, and everybody is looking forward to those 23-year-olds getting in the gate at Churchill Downs. But I'll be looking forward to some older horses getting in the gate on the turf for tomorrow's Grade 3 Fort Marcy. It goes as race number 10. It'll be our race right before the Kentucky Derby. But there's a horse who was a good 3-year-old last year. He took down the Travers, the Midsummer Derby last year, and that is VE Day. He's going to return to the green stuff, and I've always felt that the son of English Channel was more inclined physically to handling the turf, and by the way he got better towards the end of last year, I think he could be even better than what it shows on his form on the turf here again, and Jimmy Jerkins seems pretty confident in him doing so too. Granted, he is taking on a formidable foe in Mr. Speaker, who was probably our best 3-year-old turf horse last year, but still, I think VE Day can take him down tomorrow, so that's your Paddock Insider. Jay, Meg, back to you.
Saturday, a big day for VE Day. The sun begins to set. What a pretty time of the day at beautiful Belmont Park. Get a good night's sleep. It's going to be a great but long day here tomorrow. We open up at 10 a.m. Have a great Kentucky Derby Saturday, and we'll see you right here tomorrow on MSG+.